How about now, people? Have we got sound?
We are cooking with gas.
Neil's given us 2 thumbs. Now let's wait until I want to see some comments.
No, I know. I just want to wait and see if there is actual.
There's actually like a 20-second delay between the feed and them.
Okay.
Is there? Oh, okay.
So
right.
while that's happening, I'm going to grab a quick drink.
Yep. No, we've got a yep from Paul Peacock. How you going, Paul?
So it's back on like Donkey Kong.
Back on.
Yeah, we might need to
Where's Seb when you need him?
Oh God, yes. I think we need a professional. Apparently, it was all automated from last week.
Neil
was.
Neil does a fantastic job. I don't know how he does all this stuff. I would have just smashed it up against the wall by now. But full credit to him. He does a great job behind the scenes. Even though we do have a lot of fun hanging it on him.
We do. Well, someone's got to hang stuff on. Used to.
Well, we have all the fun. Neil has all the stress about making it happen. So
you call this fun?
Yeah, I think it's great. Apart from getting deaf from you.
Hey, I gave you that pamphlet on hearing aids the other day, so I'll keep handing them to you.
I think that was a subtle hint I should take, I suppose.
Yes.
But how you going, everyone? Great to have you on board. Sounds like we've got sound now and you can hear us, which I feel sorry for you if you can hear me.
Definitely.
But you're a sucker for punishments. But great to have you on the show.
Finally having a show.
We do apologise for a little bit of delay in our show this week. We had a little bit of a hiccup in
just a slight
in the family
minor break.
So another one added to the injury list.
Well, she doesn't even get to go to the trial this weekend, so she won't even join that bench until. Haven't even let her know that she's not riding the AWST challenge.
She probably hasn't twigged to that yet. But
no, not yet.
But poor old Charlotte, being a trooper, she had a bit of a fall off the monkey bars at school and has had a fairly significant break in her upper arm, just above the elbow here, and they've operated on it, and she's been a true little trooper, hasn't she?
Oh God, yeah, seriously. Even the school and everything, there was no tears, there was nothing, just don't touch it. It's sore.
It's sore.
That was it. So I would have been completely opposite if it was me.
Oh dear. So shout out to all those guys on the injury list. We keep saying we better not mention it because it just keeps growing. But
it does.
No, but people will be dropping off the bench soon as they heal, and so it'll be heading in the right direction.
Well, you don't really want them dropping off the bench because there's likely they'll have another injury when they drop off the bench. Maybe we should just get them to walk off or sit up.
Oh, something like that. Also, a big shout out to Tim Coleman. He's up and about and
out of hospital now.
Out of hospital.
Yeah, 60 days in total.
Yeah. So our thoughts go to you, mate. Great to hear that, and we certainly hope you have a nice, steady recovery. No worries. And so, what have we got for the show today, Jess?
Well, we're talking everything to do with tyres and traction.
Tyres and traction.
Was it traction?
Yeah, it is.
Tyres and traction. I couldn't remember.
Well,
I
you
did.
Posted it.
I know. I did it so long ago. I really cannot remember. Jesus, this mama needs some sleep.
Sleep's overrated. You don't need sleep. So yeah, we thought we're heading into the winter part of the trial season. The Scottish 6-day, which is Scottish 6-day.
I was going to say, wow.
The Scottish...
The lucky trials riders, they get to ride for 6 days.
Well, I mean, it almost is a Scottish 6-day because the boys from the SJS Motos are setting it up and laying the course out. It's a huge job to lay this one out, right? Huge lap around the magnificent Bullsbrook Taylor's property. So it almost is it's probably a 6-dayer in preparation.
Well, hopefully somewhere in the creek beds they've got a little Loch Ness monster tucked in there somewhere that someone has to find.
They probably will. So with the Scottish coming up, the Blackwood coming on, and then after the Blackwood...
I've got to say, at least we've got nice cold weather for it to sort of semi-replicate being in Scotland.
Yeah, actually, the way the weather's been lately...
We should actually really get a snow machine, because I remember Neil's first day of riding the Scottish when we went over there many, many moons ago. He started off, and I kid you not, they rode into snow that day.
Rode into snow.
Yes, on their bikes. It was just like, oh my lordy, I think I sat... in inside and had so many cups of tea because it was even cold just looking outside.
I can imagine the English and the Scottish and the Irish and all those guys over there be going,
Oh, yeah.
we do that every day.
This is
Jess.
like summer.
This is normal.
Oh, hooly dooly. Oh, God, now you got me saying hooly dooly.
Hooly dooly.
Jesus.
So we figured now that you're going to actually be maybe getting some moisture on your tyres, we might talk about tyres. Because generally throughout the summer series, if your tyres aren't that crash hot, it doesn't really matter. You ride through your summer series, but once you start to get into slippery stuff, although we did have a bit at the Pinjarra trial, that we had a bit of mud and slippery stuff there. Actually, I think I was talking to Marco, and he's in desperate need of a new rear tyre. In actual fact, he's already bought some. He was saying, I did notice it in that mud section, number 6, I think it was. He did notice the tyre there, but other areas it wasn't a big deal. So yeah, we thought we'd have a chat about tyres. I trust you got your cuppa.
Yes, I've got my trusty coffee to try and keep me awake.
So, I mean, basically tyre-wise, I mean, I'm a Michelin man. And there are a number of brands. You got your Dunlops, your Pirellis, and your IRCs and stuff like that. So I'm not going to profess to have a lot of experience with most of the others, although I will say with the Dunlops, they are coming standard on a lot of the bikes now. The Beaters come standard on Dunlops. That's your standard Evos. Your Beta factories come with your Michelin tyres and stuff like that. The gases come standard with Michis. My memory, I'll have to think about some of the others. But now my experience with the Dunlop tyre, the walls are generally a little bit stiffer compared to the Michi, but the actual tread pattern is a lot softer. And
just to clear it up for everyone, he is talking about Dunlop, not Dunlop.
Dunlop
is the tyre.
Jess, are you picking on my pronunciations?
Yes, just in case someone gets confused about his dates
just because,
as well.
Just because I get my tang in a tungle sometimes, it doesn't matter.
Well,
right?
I'm just making sure in case anyone
is not sure.
Yes.
Yeah, rightio. So in the past, I know some of the sidecar guys used to often go for the dummies, as I used to call them, and because of the stiffer walls and stuff, but it's neither here nor there. There's not a lot in it in reality. your Michelin tyres, which I'm going to predominantly talk about, you can get them in two variations. You can get them in so the rear is called an X11, and that's your standard comp tyre. You can get an X Lite, which is it's what the comp rear tyre is. If I remember rightly, I've weighed them. They're 5.9 kilos, and your Michelin lights are 5.6.
Yeah.
So do your maths, Jess. I think that's about 300 grams.
I don't know because I didn't hear the first weight. I just heard 5 kilos and then zoned out. Sorry, I might be doing that a lot of this show, just going completely past me over.
I'll be checking on you to see if you're awake. So there's a little bit of weight. I've weighed the front, so your front standard comp tyre now I'm testing myself. I think it was 3.5. And I weighed the light front, and they're basically identical. There's just minuscule grams difference between the two of them. Now, the actual difference between the tyres is predominantly the sidewall. They've got a lighter sidewall. For your average club person, I'd say go with your X11s and your comp fronts.
Is that so the tyre can compress?
No, not necessarily. Well, it depends what you mean compress. Yeah, compress is probably quite right. So as you get the weight on the tyre, the walls bulge out. So yeah.
So if you have a stiffer wall, it's not going to bulge out as much. It's
less chance of it to bulge out. And I'll get into
the bulging.
Bulging. and also, seeing we talk about tyres, but not talking about how many extra spare tyres people have got over Christmas and the off season. So your predominant difference between the Michelin comp tyres and your lights is basically your sidewall.
Yep.
Now, for your average club guy, I generally recommend your standard X11s and your front comp tyres, because most club people, I mean, they could go 2 years, 3 years before they'll wear tyres out.
Yeah.
You know, of course the rear wears out more than the front, but so you know, but the X lights are predominantly designed that guys are a little bit more serious in their competition. More your top end blue line through to your experts, you know, because they'll go through a set of tyres. Some of the experience I had when the rear lights first came out, they were weeping through the walls.
Yep.
So after a bit of use,
you just give them a tissue and just dab it away.
Dab them, you know, so you get a bit of weeping through the walls. So generally,
luckily it's not wailing.
No, not wailing. No. Not wailing, no. So generally, I only recommend those for guys that are going to wear their tyres out before they wear the walls out, so to speak. So that's the trick there. Tyre pressures. So I thought we'd talk about tyre pressures. Mm-hmm. So what tyre pressures do you put in your bike, Jess? So I can have a drink on my coffee.
Oh, so you have a drink on your coffee? Well, the tyre pressure I put on my bike is the one that it comes with. I put in the standard TRS tyre pressure.
Dong dong.
Which is
you failed. You just failed, Jess.
Which is you just pull it out of the box and you leave it there.
Yeah.
Because you have so much stuff happen in your life that you still can't ride it.
Yeah, we're going to change that. So, tyre pressures. Now, the general rule of thumb is the starting point is 6 in the front. That's pounds per square inch. Mm-hmm. And 4 in the rear.
Okay.
As a starting point, right? And then you vary from there. Now, the whole point. So, first of all, the main reason for having the correct tyre pressure is about traction. Okay.
Just want to say that again. What was those pressures?
6 for the front and 4 for the back.
Yeah.
Haha. See, I remember that.
Yeah. So and that's just your standard setting to start from. Now the point of having your tyre pressure correct to suit your weight, the bike, and the conditions you're in is about the footprint of the tyre. So I've got a tyre here.
Here's one I prepared earlier. Are you sure that's a tyre? That's a shoe.
No, that's not a tyre. I'm not going to show them that. Right. So...
Are you sure you can do that?
I think so. Here's a tyre. You're going to lift it. You'll be whinging and moaning. That is scary. Yeah. So, probably a little bit lower, somewhere around about there. How are we going for the...
That's good.
Viewing.
That's
good?
Yep.
So...
Got half a tyre in shot.
If your tyre here, with the right tyre pressure, when you put your weight on, that's going to settle. So the trick is, we'll just have a quick look at your tyre this way. Now you can see quite clearly the tyre just sitting here is quite convex. Is that yep, convex, that's correct.
Yes.
Say rounded.
Like such, rounded. Now, to get maximum traction, you want all these tyre knobs on the ground, the tread on the ground. So when you put your weight on it, that needs to flatten out. So the trick is to get your tyre pressure correct so that this tyre is just flat like that.
So obviously when you try and work out your pressure gauge, you have to be on the bike while someone else reads it.
Well, you kind of look at how your tyre's going. You work on your tyre pressure to get that idea. But the important thing is, if you go too hard, you're going to have this convexed concept. If you've got your tyre too low, because some people think, I'll just let my tyre down really low and I'll get maximum traction. Well, in actual fact, if you go too low, it's the worst. So what you end up with is a concave situation, and this part of the tyre will tend to be dipped like that and not actually touching the ground. So that's the reason for getting
knobs come together and you end up with a slick.
Yeah, like Neil just mentioned, the knobs actually come together and you end up with a slick tyre. So you don't want that. So that's the main reason for getting your tyre pressures right. Now, the what's the name? I know Neil predominantly likes 6.5 in the front, and when he's doing his endos and running along on his front tyre and stuff like that, that helps him, give him some stability in the front tyre, so that he's comfortable with the front tyre. So now with me, I'm only a flea weight at about 63 kilos or something. Now I generally run 3.5, right, tyre pressure for me as in the rear. Sorry, in the rear. So I'm talking the rear for me. Neil generally runs. You normally run about 4 in the rear, and that. Now, years ago when the little Nolans were little, and we do this with a lot of the young fellas. I remember we used to run 1 pound sometimes. And I remember little Alex, we just put a tube in there. Now, we're talking tube type rims back in those days, on the old TY80s and things like that. But for your little kids, I mean, don't put 3.5, 4 pound tyre pressure in their rear tyres, because it's going to be way too hard for them. So you got to look at that tyre and get that flex in the tyre. So yeah. And so the other thing with tyres, of course, well, I mean...
Why are you talking about tyre pressures?
Well, tyre pressures, so if you want to be accurate with your tyre pressure, other than just going, yeah, that looks all right, you can get low-pressure tyre gauges. There's 2 ranges. This one here is a 0 to 15.
And then you have a 0 to 30.
0 to 30. So if you're a Trolls guy only, and in that, then the 0 to 15 is ideal for you. If you're into enduro and trials, you'd probably want the 0 to 30 if you want that. So that's a trick there for you. And
do we have plenty in stock at the moment?
Yeah, there is actually.
Perfect.
Earlier in the year, we had a real shortage trying to get some, but we've got a fair few in stock now.
Awesome.
Now, what are you going to do if you get a flat tyre, Jess?
You put something in it, a dog strip or something. No, dog something. I always remember it's a brown, long, tubey thing.
It is.
It's like a dog turd.
Well, some people call them all sorts of things, and seeing this is a family show, I won't talk.
We'll call them a dog strip.
Dog strip, right? So... With the tubeless rear tyres, because these are tubeless, I don't know if I actually mentioned that. If you're new into trials, because there's quite a few new guys coming into trials, so all your modern bikes since I can't remember how far back, are running tubeless rears. The fronts are tube type, but your rears are tubeless. If you get yourself a puncher, it's pretty simple. All you need is a little needle, a Duvalaki like this. You just pull a strip out of here.
Thread it through like you would if you were doing some embroidery.
If you're doing some sewing, yep, as you'd know, Jess. So you should be able to do this easy. Just have your strip 50-50 either side. Just ram that into your tyre.
Where the puncher is, because you just don't want to do it randomly. Really, you kind of want to actually put it in the puncher wound.
I would have thought it went without saying, but I do need to say, put it in where the air is coming out of your tyre.
And I think Winnebago would have thought you wouldn't have to put a label on it. Do not drive your car while making stop driving it while you're making a cup of tea.
Autopilot.
Exactly.
Autopilot doesn't mean autopilot. Although, did you see the guy who was put in jail in America?
No.
Because he's got a Tesla automatic, drive car, and he insists on getting in the rear of the car while it's going, so he can drink his coffee and do his laptop work and everything like that. Because it's against the law, you have to actually sit in the driver's seat. So the cops have pulled him out and popped him in jail for the night, right? Because he keeps insisting on doing it. It's twice he's been done now.
No way.
And he's making a point that the car's fine. It's absolutely fine, apparently. But that's what he does. So there you go. Completely off the subject,
I
of
was
course.
going to say very off the subject.
So yeah, so poke this in where your air is coming out.
Yes.
Like so. I mean, there's a couple of different variations. This one's a great one. I love this one. I haven't been able to find another one like this lately. And then you just hold that up against the tyre and pull it
Bang.
out, and it leaves the dog strip.
Go to the close up of it so they can see it.
Neil's showing a close up, is he?
You can see the little plastic tab that holds and pull and that you hold against the
I was
tyre
gonna
when
say.
you pull it out.
Neil's probably got it on a screen, I think.
Yeah, so you can see it there with the strips. And my camera 1 button is not working.
Neil's camera 1 button's not working.
It's called a safety seal if anyone wants to Google
that's the brand name, yeah.
Safety seal made in Australia.
Yeah, but I haven't been able to find this particular one. You can get them without this bit on it.
But that bit's just nice to hold it in.
But this is great. You can just go like that and choom, and it's great.
Particularly when you've got a big slice and you're trying to hold it in place so it doesn't come out.
Yeah, that's right. So Neil makes a point, if you do a big slice in your tyre wall, I mean, I know I've put sometimes up to 4 of these in at an event. So if you've got a big cut, just chuck a heap of them in there if you have to keep yourself going for the event. So yeah.
Interesting.
Now the other thing I thought might
Actually, hang on.
Go on.
Do we stock the dog strips, or do you have to buy those?
No, I carry them in
Okay,
stock.
cool.
Yeah, I
Just
carry
to
them
make
in
sure.
stock. But you can get them at any auto
Anyway.
shop or whatever. But we always carry them in the van. What we always try to do is make sure we've got everything in the van to keep you riding. So you don't miss out on an event. The other thing I thought might be interest to some of the new guys in the trials is the earlier tubeless type rims, and I don't know, Neil, have you got a picture of this? Or
No, I don't.
you don't? Okay, so it doesn't matter. For the earlier tubeless type rims, when they first came out, they had this rim seal, and this rim seal goes in the inside of the rim.
That's not actually true.
Oh, is that right?
In the early days, remember the Technos,
Technos,
then
yeah.
they changed back and then they went back again.
Yeah, I
so-
know. Yeah, Neil's trying to. You're just going to
You
confuse
just
people. now.
complicate people, Neil.
So most of the early ones had a rim seal in the rim, and but fortunately they've converted back to like the old Technos used to be, and now that's just a complete rim, and they use a different spoke configuration. So if you've got an early one and you find that there's air coming out through your spokes,
Put some spokey dokes on and it'll cover the sound and you won't know any difference.
Exactly. You can get a new rim seal and to pop in there. Now they can be quite a pain and there's quite a trick to fit them. Fortunately, Neil's an expert at it, and I try to get him to do them because they're a horrible thing to do.
About it, actually.
We should really.
do a video on that one.
Yeah, we should. So just thought I'd mention to you, if you've got air coming out through your spokes and it's an older style rim, then you may need to replace your rim seal. You know, so that's your trick there. But your later rims are great because they're just a solid rim and they don't leak.
I think you have a fan, Simon. I think
Have I?
you have one fan.
One fan.
Angel.
Who is it?
Angel. I don't know why he'd call you the legend.
Good on you, Angel. I always knew I liked you, mate.
I was going to say, your one and only fan.
He's obviously a man that understands and quality, you know, and intelligence.
Do you want to let everyone know, Jess, that
What?
because Angel came up with this, we have a new
yes,
t-shirt line
yes.
that's going to come out. It's called, and the
Yes.
Go-
so the
so-
other night, while Neil was handling the fort on his show,
Yep.
it came up topic about you and your neck.
Yep.
And
yep.
Angel's like, so when you do it, but don't send it up like Simon. So
we were talking about the just send it concept.
Yes, the
Yep.
just send it.
Just send it.
T-shirts made that says
Just
don't
send it
like
like
Simon.
And what's the name? I should thank Angel because I love that little post he did of me and in the helmet and all the gear.
yes.
Remember that? Yeah. Good work, mate. You're
I totally forgot about that one.
I reckon Angel's the legend. No, that was good work. Now, so where was I, Jess?
Well, I don't know, but you've got 5 minutes to go.
Oh,
so...
5 minutes to go. We better go. Now, just a quick, another thing on the rear light tyres. Now, with the guys with their old post classics and things like that, you can't buy the standard tube type rim tyres anymore. But the rear lights are actually suitable for tube type rims for the old bikes. Now, there's an exception to every rule, as they say. Now, 95% of the time, they will stay on the rim okay. But if you have a look at an X-Lite rear tyre compared to an X11 rear tyre, it actually is written on the tyre for tube type rims fit tube. So you can use your X-Lites on your old twin shocks and stuff. But there are one or two rims that they just won't stay on. So I will put that rider on there. So that's just another point. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty well it on tyres. Neil's pointing at me.
One other thing. How do they find where it's leaking from, whether it's the spokes or a puncture?
Oh, I've seen that. You get a little spray bottle with some dish detergent in it, and you spray it over it, and then where there's air, there is bubbles.
Yep.
Doubles of troubles. If you're an old gas fitter, then you would have known that. Yeah, just a bit of dishwashing liquid in a reasonably concentrated soluble water and just spray it all over your tyre and your rim, and you'll soon work out where it's leaking. Now, Martin Smith's just popped up a great question.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do we keep the same pressure in wet and dry conditions?
No, actually, it's a good point, Martin, that you raised that. Now, when you're really serious, and we've met Neil and I when we're running in the national championships, then every section I check Neil's tyre pressures. Now, first of all, if you set your tyre pressure at the start of a trial, and you set it at 4 and 6, for example, in the rear and the front, and you do a lap, and you come back and you check your tyre pressures, they would have gone up, right? So you actually need to anticipate. Now, your rear tyre will go up more than your front because it's a larger capacity of air in it. So you need to anticipate the temperature and everything like that. Now, what you'll find is when you're riding in a section and then you come to a wet section, a creek section, and you're riding through cold water, then your tyre pressures are going to go down during that period. So as the tyre gets hot, the tyre pressure is going to go up. As your tyre gets cold, it's going to go down. So, as I said, in a national championship, Neil and I, that's one of my jobs, is to check tyre pressures pretty well every section. That's what we used to do. So.
And if it is slippery, we drop it half a pound or so.
Yeah.
We go a little bit lower in really slippery conditions.
Yeah, very slippery conditions, muddy and wet and slippery. You generally go down a half a pound.
Yeah.
I would run 3 where I normally run 3.5. I might go down to 3 for something's really wet and slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hope that answers your question, mate.
Yeah.
No worries. So, other than that, we've got some bikes. We got we got a beater in stock. We've got a Gasser, I've got a Gasser 300 2020 in stock.
Oh, nice.
I've got a 250 2021 coming on a truck, so that'll be in stock soon. There's TRSs available in stock. There's some Vertigos landing in June.
Ooh.
And there's
little kids or big kids?
Big kids bikes. Actually, we've got a little 16-inch Vertigo in stock too. So,
cool.
I'm actually going to pull that out of the box for the AWST Day.
Oh,
great. And have that on display at the AWST Day. Yeah, that's pretty well it. Second-hand bikes. There goes my alarm. See, I set an alarm to tell me.
That's it. The show's over. Good day. Have a great day. And
see you later. To stop jabbering. So, second-hand, we got a few. We got a Absolute Magic 2018 300. We've got a 210 250 Evo. We've got a 2011 Sherco 290.
Nice.
And that's in good nick. And we've got a 2013 Beta Evo 250 that's came in and still to be workshopped and prepped for sale. And that's pretty it bike-wise. Next event. Scottish this weekend.
So don't forget your entries close this Friday. So
that's today.
It is Friday today because I thought it was Wednesday.
Not a Wednesday
there you
show.
go. Hello. Definitely get this mama another cup of tea or
Yeah,
coffee.
definitely. And of course the AWST Challenge the weekend after that
Yep,
at the Pintos.
So they've got that now up on RiderNet, so you can enter in for that.
Yep.
Now, I did have a quick look, and if you're entering one child, it was $15 for registration. But if you've got multiple kids, every child after that was just $10.
Oh, awesome.
So a bit of a discount there if
Yep.
you're
Yep, you got a multitude of kids.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. And then of course we're off to the Blackwood.
No, you're not off to the Blackwood. We're off to the Blackwood. You're off to the Fink.
Motor Dynamics is off to the Blackwood and off to the Fink. So we'll
spread ourselves thin.
We're splitting pathways. So yeah, no, I look forward to hearing how the Blackwood goes. I'll keep my ear out. And I'll give you some posts on how we're going at the Fink as well.
Yep, no, and the show will continue while you're not there.
How can it continue without me?
No, because it'll be run by me and Neil, so it'll be short,
Oh,
sharp,
no.
sweet and efficient.
Now, now I am worried. Awesome.
Actually, you know what? I can run the show.
You can run this show. Hey, I'd like to see that.
Give me another 6 months.
Awesome. No, great having everyone on the show. Thanks for your comments. It's awesome. And thanks to my lovely assistant, Jessica.
Assistant?
Co-assistant.
Co-assistant.
No?
Really?
Co-assistant.
Co-assistant.
Even lower than assistant.
I was going to say, we'll have a discussion about this.
Co-host, is that what you call it?
That would be a bit better.
Yeah,
or
co-host.
how about you're my co-host?
Who?
Why does it always have to be the man that runs the show?
Come on. I'm going to cut you in a minute.
I wondered how long it'll take him till he cuts us off. No worries, people. Great to have you on the show.
It was good to be back.
It's great to be back. It's bye from me.
Bye from me.
And have a great one. Keep on trialling. Keep your feet up.
Yes. And don't hit a tree.